Mic check, mic check, mic check. Let's go. Previously on Kimba TV. Yeah, I said yesterday that I'm going to try to swing for a home run, if you remember. Nothing's really changed too much from yesterday, so 51.5 through 51.8, if it's a swing fail or a failed auction, could be a potential single print grab and go short. What do you think about my big MVD shots before earning today? Well, just be careful because a lot of analysts are predicting that Nvidia is going to beat earnings and that it's going to drive S&P and NASDAQ higher. Crypto Damas says, you are master. It did like you said. I'm now in hedge buy. Yeah, it took a while. I actually need to do some TA too because a lot of this shit happened while I was on my flight last night. But yeah, so far so good. Nothing is really too different. We just made a lower high, and so we need to see if we can make a lower low, Crypto Damas. But yes, it went to the 518 zone. I mean, it went at like $100 over, right? It went to like 519, but you know, obviously $100 deviation on something that's worth 52,000 isn't that big of a deal. Desk tax, you didn't get stop loss? No, remember what my stop loss was? Negative. I was thinking about adding at 51.8, 51.9. But ended up not adding because it was just too inconclusive. I'm tired, I'm sleep deprived, and I have constipation, y'all. Yeah, damn. All right, let me get caught up on the TA. Drojan, Veriler, Black Panther, Desetka, Space Cash, Drojan, Fakun. We got Bobby Firmo, Crispu, Lihu. Kobo says, damn, boy. I know. Apologies. Destex says, damn, I closed my short at 52K today, so sad. Not really, brother, Destex, because it's an opportunity to improve. So we kind of talked about it yesterday, Destex. But here, let me turn off the TPOs for you. You should be always thinking about what you're going to be doing. So you don't want to end up closing your short at the 7.5. You know what I mean? You don't want to end up closing your short at the 7.5. So if you're committing to closing it at 7.5, you should close it at the 3.82, I think. You know, but it's all good. There's really no right or wrong, brother. You're just going to have to do your best. Alrighty, Destax. Who knows? This might just make a higher high and you did the right thing. It's hard to like shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know? But you see like you see the full rotation play, right? Daily open is outside of the previous day value area high. So like you can already imagine what I wanted here. I wanted this to go down here. Look what it did. It bounced off of PDPOC. So I was hoping we would get rejected at the value area high. I would say maybe, I mean, it would be the same thing as yesterday. Two 30-minute candle closes above 51.5 on the short term would mean bullish again. By the way, shout out to everybody that was in on Nvidia. Woo! But honestly, it's not that hard, I don't think. Azaz says, this is giant retail arena. Yeah, in a way, yes. Like this is the arena, if you will. Yeah. So any sort of deviation outside, like that's the short, that's the long. And then we're literally right in the middle of retail arena again. Correct. James AP says, can I get your opinion on LTC BTC? Looks bullish to me. I think overall, just like ETH BTC is bullish, they all look bullish. But just because LTC BTC or ETH BTC looks bullish doesn't necessarily mean that it's automatically like long time. But there's very few altcoins that are not bullish on the BTC pair. James AP, coin break a resistance and walks on it for a while. When do you consider it support now? It depends on the previous historical pattern, Space Cash. So in the past, for that specific asset, how long or what kind of time frame was good enough to consider it support? XRP, for example, might only be a 15-minute candle close, whereas something like ADA or Litecoin or something that doesn't have that much liquidity inflow, right? If there's a bunch of money flowing into XRP, it might be different than, say, like Cardano that has barely any money flowing in. Does that make sense, Space Cash? You always refer to what's been working in the past, and it would certainly depend on the asset. You know, if XRP is extremely volatile and it's got hundreds of millions of dollars in stablecoin flowing into it, whereas ADA has zero volume, then you might need to spend more time on Cardano. So, and you're still going to have to go back and see, okay, the 30 minutes are working, the 1 hours are working. Alrighty. And again, Space Cash, you're compensating with time spent over a certain price point when you don't have that much edge. Okay, so just because it spends 30 minutes or an hour or 2 hours above 51.5, it doesn't necessarily conclude that it's bullish. Okay, you can start to say, okay, it's starting to become bullish. If it truly was bullish, it would be able to hold 51.5 as support, for example. Alrighty. You might be breaking a bear div. You might be forming a hidden bull div. So you're going to have to, you know, maybe there's open interest helping you out. Maybe there's S&P confluence. So the more edge you have, the higher probability it can be whatever it is that you're aiming for. Alrighty, so you said a lot of time it holds for hours, then dumps so I get confused. Yeah, so Space Cash, that's exactly what I'm saying is, don't forget all the basic tenets and the rules, okay? Kindergarten TA would tell you that you don't get bullish or bearish on penetration, you get bullish or bearish on the retest. Just because I say something like, if it stays above 51.5 for a little bit, it's going to start to get bullish, doesn't mean that you throw all the other basic tenets out the window, right? So if it starts to spend time above 51.5, okay, that's the first sign that is bullish. But you certainly wouldn't be like, okay, it spent, 2 hours above 51.5. Let's fuck all the other TA and throw everything else out the window. It's bullish, let me long. You would never think like that. Everything is always about probabilities, and the more edge and confluence that you have, higher the probability. Just time spent above is not good enough to indicate if it's bullish or bearish. It's the beginning of something. But structurally speaking, though, Space Cash, okay, the first time that you bounced from 50,800, you went to 52 or 53. The second time you bounced from 50,800, you made a lower high. The third time that you bounced from 50,800, you made another lower high. That is not bullish, in my opinion. It would only be bullish if you can make a higher high. You see how it just changed the structure? You see how this is a lower low? Do you see how this is a lower low? It was able to make a higher low now. So the bulls need to try to make a higher high. But Barry, let's not get too carried away. You know what could be possible? You see that, right? You know what could be possible? And we've already kind of talked about that before. So it could still be a sweep, and if it closes right back, I mean, that might be a long again. So yeah, we'll just take it level by level, Barry. But yeah, it certainly would be intriguing to see what kind of stop losses would get triggered, since there's a whole bunch down there, right, Barry? Shout out Space Cash. Can we take a look at Exo? Sure. I'm thinking about a little Latuche. I gotta eat this food real quick. Baby girl made me some delicious food. Collectible 49.8 is small TP. It should be. I don't think I'm going to do a small TP, but it should be, brother. So this is what I would say, collectible. Just because I don't TP doesn't mean that you shouldn't. And I will sit here and tell you what the book says, you know? 50,600, 50,700, when it swept yesterday, that should have been a little TP on the short, you know? And a lot of people did TP there, and that's good. 49.8 is another TP if it goes down there. You know, just because I'm not going to TP doesn't mean that you shouldn't. And I'm always telling you what the basic strategy says to do. So if you want to completely disregard basic strategy like I am, then, you know, that's okay if you're making that explicit decision. But remember that I always tell you guys what the basic strategy says that you should do and what I'm individually going to do. So yes, I would, feeling bored. Do you remember what level I thought I would be able to get? Do you remember that I had limits here? This is in the Discord post as well, but I wanted to get like 53.5. Do you remember? And I had limits all the way up to 53.5. It's in the Discord post from like a week ago. But like when this happened, you can actually go back and watch the highlight for this day. But this was a failed auction on the 5-minute, but you can hear me say I had more limits all the way to 53.5, and I actually have Discord posts talking about 53.5. So yes, feeling bored. If it does a swing fail again, I would. And we can actually move this here. There you go. Yeah, because this is retail arena. So any deviation outside of this box, long, short, short. If it tucks back in, right? If it's a swing fail. So yeah, if it does swing fail, I would take it, yes. You going to water the Latuche? Latuche, motherfucker! Theo, 52.1 is a good short invalidation for you, Kimba. Theo, a higher high would be. A higher high, Theo. So this is the way that I would see it, brother. And this is because I've been in these trades before. The first bounce from 50,800, it went that high. The second bounce, it went that high. The third bounce, it went that high. So my stop loss would be something like that now. And that's actually still the same as yesterday. The other thing too, brother, is you see this? Dink, 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 dink. So all it has to do is change structure, you know, and make a higher high and make a higher low. So does that, you see it, Theo? It's really that simple for me, brother. You know, and then until then, we have 7.5 Kimba box pullbacks. Look at that. 7.5 Kimba box. 7.5 Kimba box. Hasn't tapped it yet. Yeah, so that's it, Theo. All the bulls would need to do is just change the structure for me. I don't really give a shit about divs or hidden divs or CVD or open interest or S&P. Just change structure for me. That's it. Yeah. So it's one of those things, brother, where this is when you like earn your profits. You know what I mean? Theo, if I get lucky, brother, and this actually breaks 50 and breaks 40 and this gets to 32 and there's people talking about, why did you short? That's fake. You got hella lucky. This is the moment. These are the moments when I feel like I'm earning it, brother. You know, once we break 50 and it's cruise control, I don't have to do shit, right? But this is when I earn my money. You know what I mean? So this is part of the game, and you got to enjoy it. If you start to get like emotionally triggered and you're like, fuck, I should have longed, or fuck, I should have closed the short, you already got. The market makers already have you. So that's why I always talk about emotionally preparing. You know, I don't know how many times I said it, but I'm totally prepared to get round tripped. I'm the captain of Kimba Airlines. You know how many times I've been round tripped? I'm desensitized like a motherfucker. I don't care. I'm not gonna sit here and cry over unrealized profits, you know, because I know that when the home run hits, it hits, and this is just part of the game.
My trainer, he told me.
You know.
What did he say?
So I'm able to sit here and look at the price action and purely enjoy it with the company of you guys, you know, and I'm not tied to if I'm juicing or not, like from an economic standpoint. So I'm going to just let the math play out. You know what I mean? And you guys do your best, you know, shout outs to, we still have a bunch of people holding like 38.5, 40.2. Remember the 43.3? There's a bunch of people in longs. There's a bunch of people in shorts, you know? So just do your best and, you know, keep improving and learning and enjoy the process. Would there be any instance in which you get in a long to 57? Oh, absolutely, LPZ. I would love to be in a long from 49.5 or 49.8, that zone between 49.5 and 49.8. Okay, but if we don't get that, then it would be the bullish retest of leaving the range. Were you here when we were just talking about how I would take a short of a sweep of that? Do you remember when this happened? Like this was a 5-minute failed auction, so I had to get it at the failed auction, but I actually had limits 53.3, 53.5. I actually said like the 53.5 number in Discord. I think I was talking with Cage Wins. So when this happened, I was actually like, huh. That's why I only was filled on Kraken. And that's why I only had it on the failed auction. So it would not surprise me one bit if it does go to like the 53.5 and it does a sweep of that. So I would certainly entertain a short of a sweep of that and a mega failed auction again. But that failed auction needs the break of that, and that's the failed auction, right? So turning this into support, I could see myself longing that. Yeah, because remember when we talked about how there's really no anything meaningful resistance or liquidity between 53.3 and 53.5, all the way to 57, 56. So, and if it was going to pump LPZ, most of the time it does something like this. It breaks, looks like it's going to bearish retest and goes. So because it discourages and stops out the longers and it traps the shorters. The breakout shorters and the longers get stopped out. That thought that it could hold that level and turn it into support. So that's the structure you would look for. You don't want to like be a noob and be like, I'm gonna put my stop loss right behind. No. They're gonna get you. So just trying to remind y'all what has happened to me many times, so it doesn't have to happen to y'all. Alpizzi says, see, I struggle with getting into breakout longs like that. Like I don't know where to find my invalidation. Okay, so yeah, so exactly. There's a lot of people that will be like, this is going to get turned into support, and it might even bounce, but then it stops everybody out, and then it goes. The other thing too, Alpizzi, is you could be watching order flow, and if you start to see that there's a bunch of stops, you could actually long it when it actually starts to make local higher highs too. There's a lot of different ways that you could do it. Alpizzi, you could be the guy that doesn't get in here, but gets in here, stop loss here. You know? But that doesn't mean that you can just walk away. Like if that looks like a poor low, chances are it might try to come and get it before it goes. So you got to remember structure and like what it's done in the past, but you still got to be looking at OI, CVD, RSI, and things like imbalances, single prints, poor high, poor low. But yeah, something like that. Alpizzi. I could also see this. So, can you see the wicks, brother? You see how I pulled the fib? Something like that, Alpizzi. And I feel like I literally just drew this. You remember when I was like, change the structure, fucker? It's not going to be pixel perfect. We certainly don't know how the timing of all that would work out, but like just structurally, conceptually, something like that. There's always another trade. I think you saw me talk about 50,800 this day, right? You were one of the first people that saw how early I talked about 50,800. You see how I'm willing to respect it the first time, but the second and the third, I don't have as the same amount of respect? Because the first time I said, oh, fuck, I might have to close my whole short and go long. But now I'm not. And but why would you ask? Well, the first bounce took you all the way to 53. The second bounce only went to 52.5. The next one, not only did it make a lower low, the next one went to 52 now. Why would I close my short unless it changes structure? And conceptually speaking, the more times that you tap a level, it gets weaker and weaker. So I'm not going to emotionally react. I'm not going to cry over my unrealized P&L going down. I'm going to just math it. You know what I'm saying? So if it really is bullish, it wouldn't be that difficult to just break that high, local high, in my opinion. And it certainly would be able to make another thing, you know? And then that's when you go like this, and then you realize, holy shit, I am fucking pixel perfect. As they would say in Grandma's Boy, don't be mad at me if I'm in a long tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, anybody want to talk about the ascending triangle on the 5-minute? Verilur says, yeah, sure. Well, I was looking to see if MM Crypto or Carl the Moon was in here. I personally don't give a shit. But how do I duplicate this? I have to copy it and paste it or what? Clone? There you go. Do you think it will do a double or triple busted ascending triangle? Well, here, let me bring the light. Did you guys draw it yourselves or no? We don't get bearish or bullish on the penetration. We get bullish or bearish on the blank. But when you do the TA though, you put the pole on the breakout, not on the bearish retest. You put it on the breakout. Oh. So yeah, who knows, brother? This is pretty low volume. It could just be a faker, and then we go. I would not like try to enter and put stop loss here because the funnier short, I think, would be to sweep, swing, fail, fake it, and then these, I feel like these stops are going to get hit. Get nasty. The math is, and did everybody see like why I did the line like I did? Everybody see why I did the line like I did? Ooh, the juice. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh. Get nasty. Get nasty. Get nasty, ladies and gentlemen. 33 minutes, y'all. 33 minutes, y'all. Markets are getting nasty. Latuche, ladies and gentlemen. Latuche, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Get nasty. Right. The math is the math. The math is the math. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, the Latuche is already packed. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 30 minutes left. Snap, diddly, faux shidly. Ladies and gentlemen, the math is the math. Are we going to get nasty? Are we going to get it, ladies and gentlemen? We just had a 30-minute candle close above the 740. It's about to get nasty. It's about to get nasty. Will it get the math? The juice is the juice. The math is the math. Get nasty. Cafe Mercado says, no mames, wey, matemáticas es matemáticas. Yes. Quit playing with the math. Dirty Andy, ladies and gentlemen, everything is planned for. Everything is talked about. Let's get nasty, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. You're the fucking best. Bugatti out.